It's all business and personal negotiations these days. I mean, I was talking to a couple of people the other day and they said, the next book should be Never Split the Difference for Raising Kids, so it's just about great human communication. So whether it's a personal relationship, whether you're parent-child, whether it's a business relationship, I mean, we train and coach. We do a lot of training. We, go after individuals more as opposed to companies or sectors. We like high performance individuals, people that want to get better at communication. And we coach a lot. I didn't think we would coach. It wasn't even part of my idea of the business at first. I just thought we'd train. But we coach people in all kinds of deals. So we're helping people get better. The hostage negotiation skills really, I know in the intro we gave you, it said we solve problems. But what we really do is we accelerate outcomes. You might not even think you have a problem, but we can still accelerate the deal. We can help you get there faster. And that's a really cool thing because the commodity that we have that everybody has of most value is time. So if we can accelerate things, we're going to save you a lot of time.
It's such a big idea. And I know personally, after I read the book for the first time, and I've read it countless, 10, 15 times at least, a lot of audiobook listens, but it was making big impacts in my personal life. I was communicating better with my partner, my business partner, my spouse. And it's amazing how these strategies really apply to all parts of life. And so what I'm curious is, from your experience, what are some of the myths? What are some of the things that people get wrong about negotiation? And why do you think they believe that?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing that people get wrong is they figure they have to go first. They have to state their position first. And that's really insecurity. And it's a cliche that when you're talking, you're not learning. And so if you're stating your position, you're not gathering any information at that point in time. And if you're stating it, you're probably not actually having a good impact on the other side. Stating feels like, blunt force pushing. And that doesn't help, even in a negotiation that seems to be contentious. So letting the other side talk first makes you smarter because you're going to get information. It makes them feel better. It also makes them more likely to make a deal with you because a lot of people just want to be heard out. So the real counterintuitive thing is don't go first. Let the other side talk first. Gather some information. Get smarter.
Gather information first. Well, a lot of people, what I've noticed, especially when I'm talking to other people who have been soaking in negotiation training, everyone's thinking the same thing. So how do you break through that when they're like, I'm not going to give my number first, I'm not going to share first? How do you go through that process of getting the other person to start making this more of a collaboration than such a opposition?
Yeah, well, you can tease it out a little bit. You could also pivot away from price and figure some other stuff out. You could say, all right, let's set price off to the side for a minute. Let's talk about what would make this deal great. What would make this a great deal for you? If they start outlining other terms that would make it great for them, they're starting to create a vision in their head. They're vested in the process. Now they're more likely to come back with a favorable price. They may also throw a condition out that you wanted to ask for in the first place. And the more you can get without asking, the better off you are, which is another reason why you want to get the other side talking. They throw something out that you wanted anyway. You look at them and you're like, wow, great idea. And then they're going to be really happy about it when in fact you wanted it all along. So that's another reason to let the other side go first.
I love that. Well, there's so many good reasons to learn these skills. And I want to talk because I think this will be an exciting story for people to soak in, especially if they haven't gone through in the depths of studying your material here. But, talk to me a little bit about what happened during the Chase Manhattan bank robbery. I know you just released a masterclass and we actually have the recordings of that negotiation from back in the day available in that class, which I encourage people to go to. We'll include a link in the show notes. But talk to me a little bit about what happened during that and how you ended up breaking through to getting those hostages released safely.
Yeah, doing the master class was really cool, and it was fun that they wanted to put the Chase Bank in it. It was an adversarial negotiation. We wanted everybody out. They didn't want to give anybody up. They wanted to get away. Had a really guarded negotiator that is the classic example of the great CEO comes to the table. really great CEO, if the decision maker comes to the table and the decision maker has any sense, they're going to act powerless because they know they're the decision maker and they don't want to get cornered at the table. So they're going to say stuff like, I got all these people I'm accountable to. I got a board of directors, whatever it is, whatever the pretend board of directors is. As they start talking about people that are important that are not at the table, they're really important. They're doing that for a reason. It's a distraction. So this guy in the Chase Bank, he was the ringleader, the organizer. He'd gotten everybody into that. We started out, we got him on the phone. And he was like, I'm with these guys that are so dangerous. I'm these guys that are with me, boy. I'm scared of them myself. They're so dangerous. And we didn't really realize that at the time. I was to come to find out over hostage negotiation, then business negotiation. That's a classic move of an important person at the table. They're going to act helpless. Mm-hmm. And he did that a lot. Was very, very controlling. And I ended up using mirroring on him. And mirroring is this great skill. You just repeat the last couple words of what somebody said. It's not, the body language mirror stuff that everybody teaches. It's not that. The hostage negotiators mirror is just the last couple words of what somebody says. And the crazy thing is, it gets people to blurt stuff out. They want to go on. They want to explain. And I had just asked him about I thought we had our bad guy's van outside. I thought it was his van. As a matter of fact, it was. And I said, hey, there's a van out here. We haven't been able to find the owner. And this guy goes, well, you chased my driver away. And I was so shocked. I didn't know what to say, which is the other great thing about a mirror. You can mirror when you're shocked. And I just said, we chased your driver away? Because, I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. My brain had kind of shut down. And he goes, yeah, well, when he saw the police, he cut and run. And I'm like, wow, we didn't even know there was a guy that got away. And you, a really control freak person who's been very guarded about everything he says, just blurted out some really important information. That, that spontaneous utterance, if you will, was what caused the driver to cop a plea, because we had no evidence on him otherwise. We ultimately figured out who he was. They went to the house, they grabbed him. They were getting ready to go to trial, and I ran across the prosecutors, and they said, yeah, we got nothing on this guy, nothing to tie him to the bank robbery. I said, yeah, we got one of the guys admitting that he was there. It's on the tape, because I knew the tape backwards and forwards. And they had missed it in the transcript. And I said, give me the transcript. I'll show it to you. They took the transcript and they just handed it to the getaway driver's defense attorney. And when he saw it, he copped the plea. He pled. So it's a great thing about a mirror.
It's amazing how just by mirroring, you were able to pull out information without even asking a question, without making that person feel like they were giving you anything.
That's the key to, great negotiations, is pulling information without asking questions. Everybody's taught we're supposed to gather information. Actually, we're taught you got to ask good questions. Now, the point of a good question is to gather information. There's a better way than asking questions like mirrors, because mirrors don't cause people to get their guard up. And whenever you ask a question, to some degree or another, the other side's guard comes up, and they're careful about how they answer.
Thank you for listening to the Investor Mindset Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to rate, review, subscribe, and share it with a friend. Head over to theinvestormindset.com to join the Insider Club, where we share tools and strategies from the top investors and entrepreneurs on how to take it to the next level.